AI is taking over the workforce. First, it replaces artists. Second, it replaces personal trainers. Well, not all personal trainers. I don't think ChatGPT has the ability to sell trend to kids in the locker room, but still. Today we're going to be asking ChatGPT a variety of gym questions, and we're going to ask it to write us some programs to see if it is truly capable of replacing austere fitness influencers and personal trainers. First off, since the upper-lower split is so common, I think we're going to ask ChatGPT to write us an upper-lower split for muscle growth. Let's see what it comes up with. Absolutely. Here's a 4-day upper-lower split designed for hypertrophy. So first off, we have the weekly schedule, of course. This is very important. Pretty standard. So upper A, lower A, then rest, upper B, then lower B, and then a rest and active recovery day. So here we have the full-on program. Let's dive into it to see if it's any good. So first off, we have the upper body A with a push and arm focus. We have incline barbell for 4 sets of 8 to 10, seated shoulder press for 4 sets of 10 to 12, cable chest fly or pec deck, 3 sets of 12 to 15, and overhead cable triceps extension for 3 sets of 12 to 15, barbell curls for 3 sets of 10 to 12, dumbbell lateral raises for 4 sets of 15 to 20 to burn out those delts. I see. And tricep rope pushdowns. I find it really interesting that we're doing 2 tricep exercises. I understand it's push focus, but in an upper and lower split, you don't really have the room for that. So for this first upper body day, I'm gonna give it like a C-. And the reason for that is because 4 sets, 3 sets, 3 sets, 3, 4, and 3. If we add up the total amount of volume using basic maths, we can determine that there are 24 sets in this upper body workout. This is probably too much volume for most people. You're gonna get really fatigued, and your last 12 sets are probably going to suck. I actually recently ran an upper-lower split for my friend, and notice how I don't make him do too many sets. For example, on this upper body A day, it's 2 sets, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. And the reason for that is because I don't want him doing 20 plus sets and getting overly fatigued. The whole point is that every single set should have a decent benefit. The risk to reward ratio should of course be in favor of the reward. And even for his leg days, you can see not too much volume. I wrote a lot of detail for him just to make sure he got his form right, all that stuff. But the point is, I do think this is way too much volume. The lower body A is a little bit better. We have back squats, we have Bulgarian splits. Never mind, this lower body day. Okay, I changed my mind. This lower body day is actually complete shit. So we have 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps of back squats, 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps of Bulgarians, 3 sets of leg press. That is 10 sets for the quads. Never mind, this is actually 12 sets for the quads. Never mind, 15 sets for the quads. That is way too much volume, especially for the quads. Do you know how tiring it is to train legs? Once again, way too much volume. But ChatGPT has broken another rule, which is known as the rule of redundancy. When making a program, each exercise should train a different part of the muscle or should train a different function. If you're doing a back squat and a Bulgarian split squat, those are training the quads in the exact same way. Therefore, one of those exercises is redundant and you're once again going to do too much volume and you're leading into junk volume. I personally think this is a pretty bad lower body day. You have literally 0 hamstring volume, and the upper body B and lower body B suffer from the exact same problems, but we have some tips for growth. I don't want tips from ChatGPT. I don't really consent, but we're gonna read them anyway. Rest time of 60 to 90 seconds for hypertrophy sets and 90 to 20 for compound lifts. Again, those should be the same thing. Controlled eccentrics of 2 to 3 seconds with full ROM. Generally good advice, although you don't have to do a 2 to 3 second eccentric. As long as you're controlling the weight on the way down, that is what matters. So overall, this is a pretty bad generic program that you probably can find online in 10 seconds. But now let's ask it for some tips. Let's give it some questions and let's see if it gets them correct. For example, what is the main driver of hypertrophy? Mechanical tension. It got it correct. Let's go. Although it does kind of lose marks for mentioning metabolic stress and especially muscle damage. Muscle damage has nothing to do with causing muscle growth. This is an example of correlation, not causation. When you work out, yes, you damage the muscles, but that damage is not causing growth. If anything, it's inhibiting growth, because your body has to spend resources to fix that damage, which is why most people don't recommend doing 1,000,000 sets of quads in a workout. This is misinformation that has been spread across the decades, that high reps tone the muscle. Do high reps tone the muscle? The old toning myth. Let's go! ChatGPT knows it's a myth. Overall, can you ask ChatGPT for workout advice? Yes. Is that advice going to be any good? Not really. Write your own program or steal it from somewhere else. But if you have any other questions, ChatGPT is a pretty decent source of information. But that is the end of this video right here. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.